wanted to talk about the Boss and Hug connection, or whatever they're going to go by now, whether that's going to still be a thing. But they are, of course, now two-time WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, while Bayley still holds the SmackDown Women's Championship. And they had a little exclusive on the WWE Network, their celebration with them essentially poking fun of the rumors and speculation about that they pouted after WrestleMania 35 when they lost their championships, saying, should we take pictures on the floor crying? And then Bayley tweeted out, OMG, so happy, gonna cry on the floor, we're so happy, ha 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 ha, hashtag sheep idiots. So I don't know. We talked to Peyton Royce a year ago about this controversy, and she sort of dispelled it, that it was nonsense, but it has persisted. And now here is Bayley and Sasha Banks taking an opportunity to poke more holes or more fun at it. What do you make of just the whole ordeal?
Well, yeah, of course. If you're able to take like an event that I think a lot of fans use it to sour against them, and I'm sure they never forget about that stuff. So, of course, when they win the tag titles again, they're going to use the opportunity to mention that and just remind people, the trolls out there, like, hey, or this is their way to troll them back. So, I mean, I love it. Of course, you can take these rumors or gossips for all the different various wrestling websites reporting on this situation. I'm sure they didn't like it, and it messes with their character and who they are as a person and just people's perception of them. So as their current gimmick as like these heels, it's a great way, to troll back the fans again who all believe that.
It was pretty funny stuff, I thought.
Yeah, and then I guess, can we call Bayley 2 belts now?
I wonder if she'll bring that up. I bet you she will call herself that on SmackDown.
And do you think this is still going to lead to a breakup between the two of them? Because that was supposed to be the rumor for SummerSlam this year, was Bayley versus Sasha in Boston. Sasha from the Boston area. So that was the original plan. But because of the pandemic, and it looks like SummerSlam is going to be at the Performance Center again, or as well, like WrestleMania and all the other pay-per-views up to this point. So who knows if they're going to hold off on that breakup match, because I'm sure they want to recreate the magic from TakeOver years ago. So we shall wait and see on that one.
Yeah, I feel like they keep going back and forth with Bayley and Sasha Banks. They've just never gotten it quite right, in my opinion. That will they or won't they feud from a couple years ago now was just a big, weird, missed opportunity that sort of culminated in Sasha Banks saying that she loved Bayley, and then they never, again, touched on that, it seemed, and then they were the first ever tag team champions, with the new belt, which I thought was great. This Bayley heel turn, while not my cup of tea whatsoever, certainly can't argue with the success that she has now had as this heel champion. I just, I miss my hugging inflatable tube men Bayley, from NXT specifically. I look at Bayley, unfortunately, as somebody that the main roster, quote unquote, just didn't know how to properly get her over to the fans. And so, but all the best to her and everything. I just, the Sasha Banks Bayley storyline, they haven't even done it, and it's already been done to death. So that's kind of how I feel about it. It's just they've teased it so much, and they've gone back and forth about it so much. It's like, I'm not even really interested in it. I mean, are you?
No, I mean, at this point, it's just like either S or get off the pot.
Yes.
So just do it or not. Like, I'm tired of them like hugging each other, and then all of a sudden there's a little bit of tension, and then other people are trying to egg on one or the other to turn their back. And yeah, at this point, it's like, do we need to see it again? No, I mean, it's just move on. Just have them go their separate ways, and maybe they can reconnect down the road. Who knows? But as you said with the Bayley thing, you gotta give her credit though. She is one of the longest reigning champions now, so that's kind of a good thing on the SmackDown brand. And then I was just gonna say, okay, if she does turn babyface again, like, do they gonna put extensions in her hair so she has longer hair again? Like, how are they gonna make that work?
I don't think the hugger Bayley is ever coming back. I think when she goes babyface again, it's going to be a different character. Okay. This is my speculation from people that I have spoken to that will remain nameless, but I don't think she really as much as she obviously liked the success and everything like that, I'm not sure that she was having the time of her life being Bayley the Hugger.
Oh.
So, I think Shawn Michaels had a quote, he's talking about when he became the Heartbreak Kid and how at first, that he didn't really feel like there's this line in one of the documentaries where he's like, I thought it'd be like a little bit more, like cool or macho kind of deal when I got to this point. And, eventually he grew to love the moniker and turned it into a really successful character and gimmick and everything like that. But I think there is an aspect of probably it's like, Bayley, it's like, I want to be this ass kicker maybe, okay. The more in line with, it's maybe what she saw herself as. So, again, that's my conjecture and speculation based off of conversations I've had.
Wow, look at you. You're like Dave Meltzer.
No, I am not, because I will fully own up front that I could be just blowing it out my beehole. But I make
you heard it here first from Jimbo.
I'm just making an educated sort of assumption. And obviously I'm not saying that she hated the character, but I don't think that, especially look just on the face of it, let's say she did. It's hard to unring that bell, for her to become this type of character and then have to go all the way back to this very sort of kid-oriented type personality, because this is such a just a complete flip. So I just don't see it happening that way. Maybe I'm wrong, and if they do, I hope they do it right this time. My fear was about this, why I didn't want them to turn her heel in the first place, was that it's like, I don't think you can go back on that. It'd be like if Ricky Steamboat turned heel. It's just, there's just a certain, you lose a certain amount. And to me, she was an ultimate women's babyface. And so, she's had a really terrific, near unprecedented run of success now on SmackDown as a heel. But to me, character-wise, her very best was in NXT when her and Sasha Banks were leading the women's revolution and making history just, at those takeovers and everything like that. That was peak Bayley to me. But, congrats to them, and I love a little bit of a good trolling back and forth and a rib, so that was good stuff on Twitter.